It's the biggest one to do. Yes. Let's
get going.
Yeah.
We'll get started now. So I'll get started off here while people are coming in, and then you can probably you have plenty of time. So well, good morning, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming in today. We got a great guest here. There are a couple guests here. So Brenda and Pierre, and they're going to be teaching us about Knockwise, which is an app and it's something that's going to help you with door knocking, prospecting, right? Door knocking is everybody's favorite thing in here, right? But we do have some very successful agents that door knock and have gotten business from it. So, you know, one of the biggest things that we teach and we try to focus on in our trainings here is what actually works in terms of trying to find business, right? There's really three ways that you can get business. What are the three ways we can get business?
Door knocking.
That's the one. So door knocking, well, those are different tactics, but there's three main things you can do as an agent.
Oh,
Right.
buy leads. You can buy
You
leads.
can buy leads, you can buy the business, right? You can buy marketing, you can buy postcards, you can buy internet leads, right? You can buy billboards. We can spend a lot of money on this, and you can make yourself the #1 agent by purchasing it, right? But you have to look at what are you ultimately walking away with? How much money are you spending every month? Then what are you walking away with? What's your return on investment? What are you truly netting at the end of the day? So you can buy your business. What's the other two ways? Referrals. Okay, so referrals, I heard prospect. What's the difference between referrals and a prospect or prospect?
Prospecting, you're going after the.
You're going to get the business, right? You're gonna go find the business. And then what's a referral?
Comes to you.
It's coming to me. So we can either wait for the business, we can go get the business, or we can go buy the business, right? Those are three different ways. Those are three options. So, you know, many people, and it's nobody's innocent or guilty of this, right? Like we're all involved in this. When the market is hot, and what I mean by hot is everybody wants to buy and everybody wants to sell. We saw a lot of action and things that are moving. If you have a big database, your phone's ringing off the hook, right? We have many of those top agents that are in this office. And I know, just speaking personally, I know when my phone's ringing quite a bit in terms of people are reaching out to me, that I know that many of the other agents in the office and the community are busy because I'm not out there prospecting the way that I used to, especially when I first got into the business, right? I'm not out there going out there to get the business. But what I can tell you is regardless of what's happening in market conditions, with the interest rates, the lack of inventory, my career is going to be here next week. And what's awesome is he's going to be here in this spot here speaking to each and every one of you. And he's going to tell you that markets are conditions, right? Agents that are successful know how to find the business and get the business no matter what market conditions are going on, whether we're in a good market or not. They know how to go out there and get it. And that is what we teach here. How do you go out and find the business so that you do have more opportunities to speak face to face? Because for the most part, many of us are very strong once we get face to face in front of them. We're strong at our presentation, which is huge. That's also another part that as we try to sharpen our skill sets, and that's what I wrote, our 12 skill sets here on the board. These are all foundational principles and areas that skills are things that we can get better at, right? And even your mindset is something that you can develop and get stronger at. And if you're not feeling confident, in your prospecting and going out and finding the business, why? What's happening? What's getting in the way of you getting out there and going and finding a business, right? What are some reasons why we don't prospect? Just by anybody in the audience here? Fear. Okay, fear of rejection. What else? Complacency, right? Just not having a set schedule. Like, when do you schedule your time to prospect? Do you protect it the same way that you would protect a listing presentation? You have a listing appointment. Are you gonna change that appointment because something else came up in your schedule? Or social media just notified you and beat you of something, so now you're distracted and you're not gonna be at that presentation? There's no way. We work too hard for those presentations, for those listing appointments. Well, why don't we protect our prospecting time the same way we protect our presentation time? Because in order to get to the presentation, we have to prospect, we gotta find the business, we gotta find, the hardest thing in real estate is finding motivated buyers and sellers. The single most difficult thing to do. Mike Ferry talked about the biggest problem every brokerage has is for their agents not to call their leads. It's for their agents not to call their prospects. Guess where your leads are? It's in your phone. That's where it's at. They're there. They're waiting for you. But we have to initiate it. You know, I was talking to my dad the other day, I'm second generation in this business. And it ultimately comes down to how bad do you want it? And do you have to make this happen? When your mindset shifts from a complacent area of waiting for the business and waiting for them to reach out to us, everything that happens has to be created and it has to be generated, but you have to initiate that. So you have to come up with a way, however you start your day, that you're already taking the time to think of who do I need to impact today? And if you're not constantly prospecting, whether you're at a restaurant, whether you're at a gas station, I mean, wherever you're at, country club, golf course, wherever, all of these are opportunities to meet people, to have great conversations. Because that's our job, is to have great conversations every single day. Okay, so that's where we stay focused, and that's why we all reconnect here every Tuesday as we do, so that we get reminded to, oh yeah, we need to get refocused. And that's the one thing I want to make sure we're all doing, is at least taking 1 to 3 things that we're going to take action from today moving forward, especially now in the very near future. We need to take action, and we got to want it, because this is going to be the busiest summer. We can't think it's going to slow down 4th of July, which it typically does slow down 4th of July. Most agents will. Are we going to slow down? While they're all slowing down, that's when we need to turn it up and double down and pick up and get out there and find it, because the business is out there waiting. We're at all-time low inventory levels right now. All-time low. Is it a good time to sell? Yeah. It's not even a question. It's an amazing time to sell right now, right? But they don't know, and they're looking for great leaders who are going to help cut off the procrastination and lead them to making a decision that they're going to benefit from. That you are going to be the hero for helping get them motivated to take action and get them the results that you can deliver right now in this kind of market, right? But it takes a strong leader to do that. So that's just a quick little introduction here, but are you ready to get going? Because I think we got enough people here. Brenda, let's start with Brenda. So we have Brenda here from Consumers Title. Amazing, awesome person working. We work together now, probably close to 10 years. It's been a while, but she's been one of the most consistent people on our team. So if you're not working with Brenda from Consumers, make sure that you set something up with her soon. It's phenomenal on all aspects. So thank you for that. Yeah. Would you like to draw on the board?
Oh, no, I'm
Okay,
gonna be pretty quick, because I'm just gonna introduce Pierre, but, you know, I just wanted to let you guys know that the last 3 or 4 years, Consumers has spent probably more than most title companies on tools and resources for you guys to help build your business. And that is what I'm here for. So, I mean, we have 2 different farming programs, both have different, premium leads and different ways that you can access, new leads for yourself. We have a great marketing platform that is basically there to save you guys time and money. And then we have a whole net sheet program, which I don't think a lot of you I've even introduced to that, but it's phenomenal, user friendly, and that you guys separate. But we have all these things for you guys to help build your business. We have a brand new, well, at least to Consumers, app for you guys, which is called Knockwise, which is a walking farm. It is there for you guys. I mean, the name of the game with any farming, right, is to be consistent and persistent as possible. And that is what this app, it just helps keep you organized and everything's in one place. So when you're constantly farming over and over again in the same area, you guys have everything on your phone. So Without further ado, I want to introduce Pierre. He is actually the founder of Knockwise, and I have him here today because it's still new to me too. So, if you guys like what you see, I will get you signed up by the end of the day today. And then what we'll do, we'll let you guys play around with it for like a week or two. And then we'll do a Zoom call all together and then do like Q&A and answer any questions and troubleshoot with you guys and all that kind of stuff. So, Pierre.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys? Besides, getting tied up on the off ramp, right?
Good.
I missed it, but just literally one stop. So, I gotta tell you something, Brendan, you were talking about what is the thing that keeps us away, we were talking about complacency and everything else. And it's distraction. And distractions is what keeps me from prospecting, or what was keeping me from prospecting. And the number one distraction, transaction. Because I want to drop everything and show 500 homes and do everything, get my open house done, because I'm already counting on a commission that I haven't earned yet. Right? That distraction is what can really bring you downfall, because if you think about the sport, Super Bowl champion doesn't score one touchdown Sunday. I'm scoring, that's a brilliant. They keep going and going and going, and there's no stopping. People get mad. In this business, no one's gonna get mad at you. Build that pipe as big as you can. I like using it. Be the worst plumber on the planet. Have backed up pipes that aren't clear so that they can burst. And when they burst, and you all of a sudden have $100,000 a month, your perspective completely changes. Because you just keep putting $100,000 behind. It doesn't become about the one transaction, it becomes about the 10s and the 20s and the 30s, right? All right, that's my rah-rah moment. So let me tell you guys a little bit about myself so you know who I am. I'm going to share with you guys an app today for Dorma. Disclaimer, I am not a software engineer. I am not an app developer. I did not finish college, okay? I am a real estate agent like you guys. Okay, I got into real estate in January of 2010. I left a solid 6-figure income. I was a general sales manager for an auto dealership. That was my career for 15 years. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to quit and go into real estate because I think it's going to be easier than what I'm doing. Didn't really think, right? And literally had no idea of anything in real estate except I passed my broker's exam. Great, got the number, right? I joined the board. And I quit my job. January 1st, I'm watching the roast beer. January 2nd, I'm playing video games. January 3rd, my wife goes, "You gonna sell a house?" And I go, "Well, there's no shortage of house." "Well, what are you gonna do?" "Well, I'll figure it out. We bought our house. I can figure it out." And this was my thing to figure it out. I jumped on Google and said, "How do you become a successful real estate?" I got 4,000 videos that said, "Knock on doors." Cold call. Back then it was mostly January 2000. So I called my title rep. I said, "I need a list of all the defaults." I go, "We can't provide you that." So I found Property Radar, got a list, and this was my first order.
We can now.
Yeah, you can now. I knock on the door. "Hi, my name's Pierre with XYZ Realty. I understand your house is in foreclosure. You need some help?" And the lady said, "My house is in foreclosure. I need some house in foreclosure." And I'm like, right, that was my script. I didn't even know what to say, but it didn't stop me, right? So guys, my first year by just doing that, because the internet told me to do it, I did 9 transactions my first year, 13 transactions my second year, and I was top 25 out of 4,200 agents by my third year. Very exciting. I've got a whole database. That database goes away. You can have $1 million in savings. And if you don't work, it goes away. Right? It goes away. So, how many of you guys hate door knocking? Be honest. I hate it too. You actually hate the act of door knocking, or do you hate the process? Okay, can you tell me your biggest thing about door knocking that you have to do? Yeah. I mean,
It's like, what if they actually answer the door?
and then what, right?
Oh, I don't know what to say.
So I'll tell you what I absolutely hated about it. It was completely reliant on the list, my notes, and my memory. And I'm not the most organized person. I would write notes on the back of my flyers, write a phone number on the back of my flyer, and 3 doors later, I'm giving that flyer to them. Right, I would knock on a door and introduce myself and go through the exact same spiel, and they go, here, you, here. Right, or try to remember who was home, who wasn't home, what happened here, and then go back to the neighborhood and see if a sale sign on it, did I knock on that door? Oh, it must be family, and just justify whatever, right? So in 2015, we said there's gotta be a better way. And I am a huge advocate of prospecting. It's your bread and butter. Prospecting number 1, follow-up number 2. Nothing else matters after. You do those 2 things, you will be very successful. We're not, guys. Tony Robbins said, we have one of the best jobs in the world. We get paid. Right? We're not trying to put a man on Mars. Right? We just have a conversation. But I said, I've got to do better. And I used to use a dialing system called Mojo Dial. Okay. And I said, wow, Mojo can tell me, hold on. I do that for door knocking. Again, no background. I said, I'm just gonna build it. I'm gonna have someone build it. And in my thought, I was gonna pay somebody $500 and they were gonna build me an app. I'd have it in 30 days. Well, it took 2.5 years, about $250,000. However, what I'm gonna share with you guys today, if you hate door knocking, I would encourage you to just try it. Even if you don't want to go out and prospect for new business, go out and knock for an open house and just invite the neighbors to an open house. And I'll share with you some of my scripts. And I'll email you guys all the scripts. Now, the most important thing here, guys, is after I show you everything, do not go to Knockwise and sign up for this thing on your own. Please call Brenda, because Brenda is with Consumers Title, and we have piloted a program with them, where you guys get the full upgraded version of Knockwise, 100%. You will not pay for it. Agents are paying $250 a year for it, for $30 a month, and that price is going up at the end of July to $600 a year or $59. But you guys have it for free, so make sure you get that set up with Brenda. All right, so what I'm gonna show you guys right now is how this door knocking process works, okay? And when I call it a process, this is not a fly by the seat of your pants. Oh, I'm gonna go door knocking after lunch today. Let me take my phone, draw a map, and let me go see if I can do it. It's premeditated, it's scheduled, it's part of your daily routine, okay, or part of your week, or your monthly routine, whatever it is. This is not a one size fits all. No one's telling you have to go door knock every single day, 4 hours a day. If it's not within your means, if it's not within your daily routine, you're not gonna do it, no matter what happens. I can go to the gym, work out, eat healthy every day, reduce my calories, I will be healthy, I will lose weight, everything. It's not my thing. My heart rate goes up when I park near the gym, right? Like, oh, I'll go in. But there's fries next door, I'll eat those, right? So just understand, work with your strengths and your own weaknesses and within your own needs. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you when you log into Knockwise onto the web. I created this based on my daily routine. My daily routine was I get up in the morning, I start my day in front of my computer, when I leave the office, I live on my phone, right? And I come back at the house, again, I'm older, I have glasses, I'm in front of my computer, it's easier to read the screen than my little phone, right? So same thing with Knockwise. You will log into the web, you'll log into your account, and the first thing you're gonna see after you've been door knocking is a dashboard of what you've done in the last 30 days. How many doors you've knocked on, how much time you spent in the field, and the percentage of all the responses that you've entered while you were door knocking. Now you can do this for any time frame, all your farms or individual farms, okay? So what we do is we record every knocking session so that the almighty question, when's the best time to door knock, really depends on different neighborhoods. You go to a retirement community in Oxnard, everybody's home all the time, and you're gonna spend 15 minutes a door talking about cookies, dogs, brownies, whatever else, right? Other more affluent areas, maybe they're not home till after 7. It really depends. This will track all the knocking sessions, and you can run a report to identify what neighborhood, what time of day, and which day of week you have the highest contact. All right. That being said, I'm gonna come right over here to my farms tab, and this is where you actually take a look at all the farms that you've created, as well as creating a new farm. So what you'll notice here is you've got a note section where you can quick access your notes in that farm. So everything that you do in your tablet and your phone will automatically sync to your computer. Everything you do in your computer will automatically sync to your phone. So you don't have to go and write your notes down, come back, put them in the computer, export them, put them into another CRM, everything's synced. You've got the name of the farm, how many homes are in that farm, how many homes you visited. You can then edit the name of the farm, export the entire farm, or delete it. Okay? But what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a new farm. Now, you can use an address or a zip code. I like to try to use an address. So you were talking about possibly open escrow thing. Maybe you're getting a deal accepted, right? Can I get that address from you? No. Can I have an address from anybody for an open house or anything like that?
We'll give you, let's give you,
Anything.
746 Kohala.
7,
It's
4, 6.
close.
Okay, spell the code out for me.
It's right there.
There you go.
Oh, right there. All right. And we're gonna call this 1. All right. So what we did is we just named it, we saved it, and now it's gonna let us go ahead, bring up a map just like this in our MLS. And you're gonna notice 3 little icons at the top. There's a broom, a location indicator, and a polygon. I'm gonna go ahead and select the polygon. And I am going to now say that I want to knock this area right here. So I just click one time. And I go continuous. I don't want to cross my lines. I draw my shape and it tells me there's 77 homes in there, but I saw that I went crooked. So I'm going to hit edit. I'm going to hover over click, hold and drag. And I'm gonna do the same thing here, edit. Click, hold and drag. And you can do it for every point. This is how accurate we want to be able to make this for you guys so that you can include anybody and everybody you want, okay? And typically what you want to do is you want to draw your shape going through the backyard. You can move the entire shape as well. This here, there we go. All right, so now that we have 96 properties, I say, okay, you know what? I want these 96 properties. I hit OK. It is now doing a couple of things. It's retrieving all the homeowner data, all the property information. It's going to drop 96 pins on this map and load all the records in your records tab and load everything in your phone. So if I click on this record right here, the first one, here's the information that you're going to have. There's the owner information on the left, property information on the right, and all this exact same information is in your phone. If you need a property profile, just click on property profile and get it right away. We're going to be adding a net sheet button here, and net sheet, click on it, get your net sheet, right? So it's coming, right? So any questions so far about how you map an area? Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like on your tablet. And guys, you can interrupt me and ask me any questions you like. I have no problem with that whatsoever. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and log in with the same credentials from the web onto my app. Okay, I'm gonna log in. All right, so same dashboard, you're gonna use the menu at the bottom. I'm gonna go to my farms in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm gonna go to 1A Pierre, which is the first farm we created here. And that map that we created on the web loads up right here, okay? Now, what you'll notice at the top of the screen, it's got the name of the farm. When you see the name of the farm, that means you're in preview. You can look at your notes, you can add notes, but you can't add any responses like not home, interested, not interested, whatever else, right? When you're ready to identify this is the right farm, I've opened it up. You're gonna start a knocking session by clicking the button in the upper right-hand corner. It's gonna say beginning time knocking session, reload your farm, and now it says live door-to-door session. At this point, the app is tracking everything. The time you started, the time you ended, how many homes you went to, how much time you spent at each door for each response. Why is that important? You knock on 100 doors. You come back and you run your report. And 70 people went home, but the average is only 4 seconds per door. Okay, maybe I can hang out for a little longer. I'm spending 18 minutes per door for a nurture conversation. Maybe we cut that down a little bit and make up and back. It's just self-coaching and self-correct, right? It's not a gotcha system. But now I'm ready to start door knocking. So I'm going to say that I'm going to start on Paseo Nogales. So up in the search bar, I'm going to type Paseo Nogales. And the map just goes to Paseo Nogales. I can choose the odd side of the street or the even side. Now, here's the cool part. Odd, I go to the list in the upper right hand corner. And what you're gonna notice is on the odd side of the street, we've already got a walking order for you. Lowest number to the highest number. And when I flip to even, it flips from highest number to lowest. Number. We're giving you a walking loop in order, no more flipping sheets, what house is it, let me mark, none of that, it's all gone, okay? So we're gonna go back to odd, and we'll select the first one. Couple things you're gonna see right away. Here's the tracker at the door. There's a flag in the upper left-hand corner, that's a toggle, touch it to turn it on, touch it to turn it off. That means there was something significant about that property, you tie a string to your finger. Every time I leave a note in the system, I flag the property. Want to see my note? What did I say the last time? Oh, this person wasn't interested. Let me just work out something else. I'm talking about something else, right? This indicator here, you see that it's outlined. You'll see it later on. It'll be completely white. The body and the head will be filled in white, highlighted. That's an indicator to let you know that that's a possible non-owner property. Could be a tenant because the site address and the mailing address don't match. The top of the screen will always have the address it's going up to. The bottom of the screen has the next address on the list. This right here is where you hit to get your drop down of responses. Not home, non-owner, DMD, which is do not disturb or do not solicit. Opportunity, it's an appointment, come back Tuesday, come back Friday, whatever it is. Nurture. Anybody and everybody you talk to, regardless if they say, I'm not interested. Just because they're not interested in selling their home, does not mean that they're not interested in being a referral source for you, being educated by you, referring you to friends, family, coworkers, church, everybody else, right? You just have to know how to have those conversations following up. Trash, I'll get to in a second, and bacon. What do you think we put in trash? When you look at it.
Do not solicit.
No, other real estate
Oh.
agents, right? Because you're out prospecting right now. You're not there to talk to an agent that's at home, you know, like in 2010 playing video games. And trash doesn't delete it, it just archives it, right? Puts it away, so it just removes it from your list. So on this here, we're just gonna say this person is not home. It'll turn a different shade of gray, and we'll click on the button. We'll come to this guy, and he says to me, Salcido says, didn't you see my sign for not soliciting? Don't you knock on my door, this, that? Yeah, I'm so sorry, DND. And every response that you put in is color coded different, so that you can actually go ahead and sort and filter in the future and knock on those certain responses. I'm gonna do another not home. This person, Alejandro says to me, I'm not leaving here until they take me out in a box. Fantastic. What's the next thing? Phone number. That's gonna be soon, right? But that's okay, you know. And if you scroll up, guys, and you take a look at it, wow, the difference. 2000. It's 3 years, but whatever. 1990. Right? Well, now he's been there. Good God, how many years, right? All of a sudden, so he's been there with 23 years or whatever. It's a long time. He probably knows who just got divorced, whose kid just moved back in the neighborhood, whose dog got lost, whose cat got eaten by a coyote. He knows everything, right? But he's not interested in selling. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark it as nurture. Now, when nurture comes up, you have the opportunity to select the date that you want to go back to. I don't select the date, I just mark it as done. Again, nurture, done. And after he closes the door, I leave a note. So I'm gonna flag it, I'm gonna leave a note. I'm gonna hit the notes button, and then you have the option of using your keyboard or your microphone. I'll use my microphone. Really nice homeowner, not in the market to buy or sell, been there a very long time. But I can use them as a source of referral or a neighborhood advocate when I have an open house or a garage sale in the next. Add your note, time and date stamp done. And guess where that note is? In your desktop already. Okay. And the next time I go over there and I see that flag and I see my note, I'm not talking real estate. I'm 100% relationship. One of the things I'm going to kind of go off topic here, guys, and explain to you why door knocking is so important and why it works so much better now post COVID. People are hungry for relationships. It's working, guys. We have 7,000 agents using this product. The top 3% are killing. They're killing. And what you want to focus on is don't focus on huge numbers. You know, when people want to lose weight, how much you want to lose? I want to lose 50 pounds. Can we start with 4 pounds? Right? Can we start with a pound? Right? And so when you're door knocking, your goal is 20 contacts, guys, whether it's door knocking, whether it's prospecting, whether it's out in the bar, golf course, wherever it is, 20 new prospects in your database every week. Guys, that's 1,000 people on your database at the end of the year. If you do 1/10 of 1%, that's 10 transactions. In our Southern California area, that's a damn good living for very little effort. Very little effort. And now imagine if you apply yourself. That's what my mom used to say. You would just apply yourself. Don't let. Right? All right, we're gonna go to the next one here. And we're gonna mark this one as not home as well. And this one, the guy said, he said, Alejandro, and this one says, you know, your timing is perfect. Can you come back on Friday? And talk to me and my wife. We just found out that my wife got a job transfer. We gotta be on the East Coast in 90 days. You say absolutely. So you flag it. You mark opportunity. And you select Friday the 16th. You hit done. And then you say, Alejandro, what is the best phone number and email address so that I can confirm our appointment and send you some information? You hit the edit details button. You add their email address. You add their phone number. And then after they close the door, right, you're gonna add your notes. I've got a job transfer meeting with them on Friday to discuss possibly leasing or selling their home and maybe even setting up a referral for the East Coast when they move out there for their job. Add your note. And then more importantly, see that picture icon? You're gonna hit the picture icon, you're gonna hit upload photo, and you will then take a picture of their house. And that picture goes into the backdrop. It goes into your URL link back on your website. So that when you go back for your appointment on Friday and you have your CMA, your sample marketing flyer, your website playful, your property website, and everything else, you're doing it with a current photo of their house. Okay? Really powerful because everybody else is doing what? Google Earth, right? Or an old picture from whatever, it's like 15 years ago, got old paint and different siding. This tool here is also very cool. If you're completely scared to door knock, walk your neighborhood where people are doing renovations or gardening or landscape. Take a picture while it's happening, take a picture when it's done, and send them a flyer or a handwritten note. Say, listen, I know you were in the weeds when you were doing this, but you did a beautiful job with this. I just want to show you the front. You know what kind of an impact that makes? That one little note, that's from 2 pictures, and you're out walking your dog or anything else. If you don't want to knock on the door, if you want to be a little bit more passive about it, right? What you'll notice right now, guys, it says no more properties. That means we're done with that side of the street. So I just hit the back button in the upper left-hand corner. I flip to even. And I go again. I'm just gonna do another not home. And we'll put one under trash. We'll put this one in vacant. And this is a cool part. Remember how we talked about the owner, non-owner indicator? Watch what happens. And you guys notice here, now it says 1 visit. If it was your 4th visit, it would say 4th visit. If you want to know when you were there, click history and it'll show you every time you've been there. All right, but we're gonna go to the next one. And right away, we're at 752 San Nogales, but we see that that's highlighted. So we touch that icon. Okay. Mail's going to San Marino. What's the chances of the owner living there? 0. What if it's PO box? It's still possibly the owner. What we're letting you know is we're having you be prepared for different kind of conversations that you walk up to the door. We want to make you more efficient. We want to make you more confident, and we want to have you be more educated about what you're not. Now, here's the cool part. So let's say you knock on the door. Tenant's name is Jim. Jim has a nice conversation with you and says, yeah, I'm really thinking about buying something in the next 6 months when my lease is up. You say, you just touch that icon, guys, and you can add Jim's information. And his email. Okay. And I'm gonna flag that property. I'm gonna mark it as a non-owner because now I've verified that it's non-owner. And I'm gonna leave a note. Jim's been living there for 1.5 years, but looking to buy something in the next 6 months when this is up, make sure to follow up and even connect them with my lenders so they can do a rent versus own, and you can understand what you should be looking for houses and when you can apply. You guys notice how fast I'm talking? Okay. See how we got all of it? I didn't invent speech voice again. But we definitely worked on the rate of speed because I said if they can follow me, can go everything. Everybody thinks I'm on the East Coast and I talk a million miles an hour. So it had to catch me. That's the way we work. If something was wrong, you can simply hit the X, re-record it. If you got an accent and it's not picking it up right, you can type it. Okay. So again, guys, I'm just gonna put a couple not homes here and another vacant, another do not disturb. And then let's just say I'm done with the San Nogales. I just hit the back button. And we'll say Ortega. Put the new street in there, go to the map, mod, and there I go, right? Go to the list, and here we go again, right? Another not home, another vacant, another not home. And let's say we're completely done. We hit the back button, we get back to our list, we hit the back button one more time. It says, good job you done for today. Yes. Here's what you get. Instant report, date, time you started, time you ended, how long you're out there, how many homes doing it, all your responses. Here's how it sets up your mindset. Because we've built up such an anxiety over any type of customer. If I want to go door knock right here, right now, Camarillo, I got to take 2 Xanax, a bottle of wine, and the next. I don't know anything about Camarillo. I don't know what neighborhood, what school, nothing. Everybody in my head is going to spit at me. Every dog's going to bite me. Everybody's going to slam the door in my face. Everybody's going to call me every name, right? But when I go and knock 100 doors and I saw 2 people told me to bounce, 7 nurturers, opportunity, I can handle 2. It cleans out the garbage. We're very good at filling our head with garbage. And when I say we, it's because I'm one, right? I closed 3 transactions last month. I'm practicing full-time agent. That happens to have a door knocking happen. Okay. So everything I'm showing you and sharing with you today is not from theory. It's from me knocking, making mistakes, learning, and helping. Right? So let's do something really cool. Let's pretend it's tomorrow. And you want to go back and knock on the doors that people want. We're going to open up the same farm. What you're going to notice right away is it's color coded a certain way. Because of all the different responses. I'm going to start a knocking session with the button in the upper right hand corner. And this time I'm going to go to filter in the upper left hand corner, door to door responses. I'm going to uncheck everybody except the people that want home. Those are the ones people got to go. Super easy. And guys, what happens is when you put Paseo Nogales, it'll say house 1, 9, 13. You don't have to worry. It just tells you which house to go to next. You don't have to go through lists and paper and everything. Efficiency makes your job a lot easier. When you know when you've been there, what you've said, you look like a professional. You don't repeat yourself and lose credibility anymore. Right? So reset the filter. Reset all. And you can do this with multiple too, guys. You can say, I want to go to not visit the other ones that weren't home. So multiple filters. And there you go. So you have it all, right? Now, let me share something quick. What happens when you come back to your office? You go to your dashboard. And you see your total number is different. But I'm going to go to 1A here. That farm. And guys, what I suggest when you're making a farm, again, don't look at the hundreds and the thousands. You don't need a farm of 1,000. You really don't. You need 500. And don't create a farm of 500 homes. Create a farm of what are you going to knock today? How many homes? 50, 40, 60? That's okay. You can create 10 different farms. You can go to all 600 if you want to. But just go and knock on one farm, right? And keep knocking it until you meet enough people and then go to the next one, right? So 1 APR, looks like we knocked on 16 doors. We were out there for 9 minutes. 43% of the time people were not home. That's not a bad average. 1 out of every other home was somebody was there and had a conversation, right? Now I'm going to come over here to my farms. And I'm going to take a look at a couple things here. So 1 APR has 3 notes. If I click on the 3 notes, let's take a look here. The tenant spoke with the owner, wants to, sell. Right, I'm gonna add that note. This one, we'll say sell. Add that note, right? And right away, this number turns to 5, right? So we know what we got going on. If I click on this, it's going to take us to the map, and the map is now color coded the same way as our app was. I'm going to go to our green one, which is our opportunity. There's a picture that we took. I click on the photo. There's a picture of the house, there's the email address, there's the phone number I took. The property is flagged, there's my notes. My history shows me when I saved the property, when I saved the email address, phone number, when I knocked to change it to opportunity, everything is here, right? If I add here. The listing. Even though my keyboard is not working properly. Okay, let's do this. So just staying in preview. Click on that icon, the green one. Touch the photo. Touch my notes. It's instantaneous. Everything's here, all the time, right? So guys, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You guys have any questions about the process or anything else? And don't worry, we can do a one-on-one Zoom whenever, okay? Program's 100% free. And I'll tell you, you know, just off the topic, if I have a couple minutes, but I'd like to tell you guys how I prospect. What I do. To this day, I still knock like 400 or 500. But I only knock them 4 times a year. Because I have 90% of the contact information. I have an email address or a phone number for 90% of the 500 people that are knocking. And my goal every year is to get 3 A-list referral agents, I call it, right? And I categorize my referral agents in 3 different categories. A-list, B-list, C-list. And here's how I categorize it. An A-list referral agent for me is, hey Pierre, my coworker wants to buy a house. I gave them your number. Here's their number. If they don't call you in 10 minutes, they're expecting you. Cool. B referral. Hey Pierre, my coworker wants to sell their house. I gave you your number. If they don't call you by the end of the day, call me, I'll follow up. And the C list is, hey Pierre, someone in my office wants to buy a house. I gave you your number. Thank you. Right? I work for 3 A-list referrals per year. That's all I want. Because they are my biggest advocate. Told you, come to my house for dinner. We go out and I watch their kids. If I gotta watch their kids, I'm everywhere, right? We become friends, we become family. Here's my door knocking script. If I've never knocked on your door. Hi, I'm here with XYZ Realty. I just want to combine the basically requires that I've been yelling you at the door. I didn't have an opportunity to meet you. Wondering if you had any questions or if you had concerns like the other neighborhoods that you don't really want that much junk mail and everything else, and you prefer that I can email it to you. That's my script. Okay. Here's my other script. When I don't have a phone number, if they're not interested in selling because I mark them as an and I go to an open house. Hey Jenny, how are you? It's Pierre. Listen, I know you're not in the market to buy or sell. I just want to let you know that Bob trusted us to save us because they got a job transfer and they're going to be moving. So we're doing a huge open house event this weekend on 1 4. We'd love to have you guys come visit. If you can't visit, so you understand. Just want to let you know that we're gonna, you're gonna see a lot of strangers, a lot of traffic in the area. Please know that's from my marketing, and I'd be happy to call you, text you, or email you when the event's over. Your neighbor trusted me. We're doing a huge open house event. We're inviting you to be courteous. Right? Let's say I've got the person that says, I'm not leaving here until they take me out in the box. Not interested in the is not selling at all ever, right? Hey Bob, how are you? Listen, I know you're here, you're furniture in the neighborhood, no problem at all. But can I ask you for a favor? Bob asked us to sell his house, and our open house is this Saturday from 1 to 4. Can you come by, maybe half-hour, 20 minutes early, take a look at my marketing, take a look at our staging, take a look at our pricing. I'd love your. I turned Bob into Bob already knows way more because he looks at that in Zillow, right? And what happens? What am I doing? I'm turning Bob into an A-list referral because Bob is part of the process. You understand? So everything that I do when I'm doing it, guys, I'm doing it with a purpose. I no longer door knock to look for a buyer or a seller. I door knock to build my friends' database. Okay, how many of you guys do a closing gift for your buyers? Can I ask you what you give them?
It depends on the person.
Okay, just give me a second. Knives and, you know.
The last time, like, I got the bottles.
Fantastic. Okay. You guys want to know what I do? I do signs. buy any gifts for anybody. When I sell a house or when someone buy the house from me, I host and cater their household. Yes, sir. The reason I do that, guys, is we're talking to these clients every single day for up to 6 weeks. And then it's cold turkey. How do you transition from client agent to friend? Get an invitation to the house. But be sincere about it. If you don't like them, don't do it. Get them a bottle of champagne, come on. Right? Honestly, don't fake it. People know. If it wasn't a clean transaction, if you guys just weren't clicking and you guys both had to force your way just to finish it, that's not going to be a referral source, right? And identify that. But doesn't mean you don't follow up, doesn't mean you don't continue with your emails. You're just not going to be as close as you would like. You know, we have friends, we have family. My wife and her sister-in-law, they're just not buddy-buddy. My wife envisions it one way, she envisions it another. Doesn't mean that they can't be cordial, but just understand that, right? So these are the types of things you guys want to do. You guys want to focus on the process. You don't want to focus. If you guys can do that, you can just say, you know what, I'm going to go to Caravan this week. And I'm going to knock on 20 doors around Caravan. And just tell them about the beautiful house that their neighbor has. And if they like, I take them over there with a private show. Right? Everybody's going to tell you what happened in the market. Oh, no one's going to sell right now. That's why we have no houses. They got nowhere to go. But there's people liquidating their property. Because they're top dollar. You're out of state non-owners that don't care. Right? People are selling, guys, because people are buying. And what's happening? They're buying with multiple bids, offers, everything else. Oh, but they should pay this one. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Guys, I closed more deals the last week of December because I pick it up the day after Thanksgiving. Because I know everybody else is shutting down. Oh, this is gonna be like shooting fish in a barrel. Now, the 4 times I farm, and it's been the same for the past 7 years. A week before school starts, I do a garage sale, neighborhood garage sale. A week after taxes, I do a paper trail. A week after Halloween, I do a pumpkin harvest coloring contest. And a week after Thanksgiving, I do a Christmas tree or a Christmas light. That's it. Sometimes the Christmas lights is the can of cookies, sometimes it's whatever. But that's all I do. And my favorite line is when I knock, here you know we're not selling. So I know, can't I just say hi? Right? And if you have a really nice conversation with 4 guys, the easiest script you can remember, the easiest one-line script, right? Is, hey, listen, thank you so much for your time. Just curious, the right price have you ever considered selling? The right price have you considered selling? Great, let me know if you ever have any questions. You walk away. Scripts are fantastic, but they suck unless you internalize them, believe them, and understand them. Know your strength and weakness. You also can't be a robot with scripts. Scripts are not there for you to listen to just reply. You're supposed to listen to understand. My Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry script, when I went to the, calling from hell school, I went to Las Vegas, 3 days of cold calling. 3 days, 7 hours a day. It's like clock morning. You're gonna call and you're gonna like it, right? Okay. But this was a script every single time. We just sold a home in your neighborhood. When one sells, another one sells right away. So when do you plan on moving? How you doing? Great. If you were to go, where would you go? Nowhere. I'm not moving. Fantastic. Guys, word for word. Am I wrong or not?
No, that's
That's the script.
I'm not listening to you. I just want you to sell. I don't know you, but you're gonna sell, and I'm gonna be your agent. Right? When are you hiring? What? Yeah, your house expired because your agent sucks. You're overpriced, but when are you hiring? Right? So understand. So what I did is I said, look, what they're telling us with the scripts is understand that there's a short way from A to B. Keep on track, stay focused, right? But listen and understand. So my scripts are that way. I'll be happy to share any of my scripts. Guys, you can, lastly, I'll leave you with this. Because of our relationship with Consumer Title, all of your support questions are your help questions, all of anything you guys need to do, they come directly. You don't go to my support list. 100%. So you want to talk about, hey, Claire, what do you do in this situation? Hey, how about this? Well, I don't understand this. I dropped my phone. What happened to all my data? It comes, right? Guys, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me and That's it, Brenda. So you guys make sure you guys do not go online and back up. Great comment, Brenda.
Do you have a few moments for some questions?
I have all the time you guys need.
Cool. Any questions anybody would like to ask? Anything, Jesse?
You mentioned something that I do quite a bit of. What else do you do at the housewarming parties?
So I learned that from Josh Altman, watching, listening. And the first time I did it, I don't do anything besides that. I come out, I plan, I said, listen, how many people do you want to bring over? Is there any dietary restrictions, this, that, and everything else? And then I cater the event. I hire a chef, I bring them in, they cook, they do everything, they bring all the food. I don't do like McDonald's who, want to see my farm. I actually bring food and do it. And then I hang out. If they tell me, hey, Pierre, thank you very much, and I leave, Right? I don't leave my business card, I don't do anything. But it gives me more opportunity. So I create conversation points with everything I do. So I call them up, hey, how'd you guys like that? What do you thought with you? Did you like that chef? How was the food? We're gonna try a different chef this week. You guys want to come over for dinner? I'm keeping that transition. I want to transition from agent, client, friend, family. I can't quit culture. I suck at that. Right? So I always just will open that door. That's what I do. And then I always leave them, hey, listen, if you need to do anything to this house, before you do it, you call me. First, I'm gonna tell you the impact of what it's gonna have on the value of your house. And second, I'm gonna give you referrals on who to get it from us. So I want to keep that door open. So I want them to call me no matter what. If they need a car, if they need a new computer, if they need what, they call me first. That's what I want to. I want to be their super. That's kind of how.
That's great. No, I love how you talked about changed it from looking for buyers and sellers right now to creating relationships, trying to get names or phone numbers and emails.
That's it.
Then you have 500 homes that are on your list.
And that's all they work.
So how do you come up with that 500?
Okay, laziness. Laziness is cost, guys. So I don't do every door direct. I get all of it. It's a little weakness. Redfin referral agent, you name it. I tried it all. 90% of my business always came from my friends. So I just needed more friends. Right, I just needed to build more friends. And what I learned, because when I first started door knocking, I had my list of MODs, and I was in Orange County. I'm gonna go to Earth, I'm gonna go to Orange, and then I'm gonna go to Anaheim. And it would take me 4.5 hours to knock on 10 doors. Right, and then they weren't home, and then what do I do here, right? And then I went to just sold, right? And I've only sold one house. But I'm a professional leader in the neighborhood, right? Then I went to just listed. And I think it was my 6th or 7th transaction. And I thought I got in trouble. I went to a broker caravan. To me, it was one of the nicest houses I've ever seen. Imagine, I haven't sold a lot of houses, I haven't bought a lot of houses, but it was a really nice house. It looked really clean and modern, it was nice. So I went and knocked on 30 doors. My God, your neighbor's house is beautiful. Would you like to see it? And the lady goes, yeah, I'd like to see it. I made an appointment, over. She made an offer about it. Next thing you know, I'm getting a call from the broker. We'd like to come to the office, please. So the agent went to her broker, complained, the broker called me in, called her in, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I done? And he goes, could you please explain to my agent why you knocked on those doors? Because I was excited about the house, it was beautiful, and I thought maybe I could find a referral. He goes, can you teach her how you did it? She was complaining, and she thought he was gonna have her back, and he thought you're an idiot. But if you're complaining of taking your seller, then you should have, or not your buyer, then you shouldn't have. Right? So I was like, whew, but honestly, God, I thought, oh my God, I'm in the principal. It's very smart to get an opportunity and then try to recruit me and did all that stuff, right? So these are the types of things, guys. You have to, I make a joke. I'm too big to fit in the box. Just get out of the box. Get out of your own way. And if you understand, I bet you every one of you guys in this room probably talks to people online, talks to people at the elevator, talks to people in the movie theater, whatever it is, right? But as soon as we say the word prospecting, we have ulterior motive. But we've all lived that way. We've all, when we were 18, 16, 18, 20, 21, we'd go to the club and we weren't there to dance. We were there to find somebody, meet somebody, right? And I didn't come up to a girl and say, oh my God, your drink's half empty, why don't you finish so we can leave? And if she said yes, I would run. Right? You have to understand your process here and believe in the process, right? So once I said, you know what, I'm gonna go and build that database, guys, you will get more referrals than you will ever get listings. And those are the easiest deals on the planet. You're not competing. Because who's our competition? If you had to guess who your competition is in this industry, who would you think it is? Would it be the best agent or the new agent? Because they have zero value proposition. It's the Zillow agent that wants to give away their commission and lower the standard of the industry. That's your competition, because the perception of the consumer is what? You're all the same.
Yeah.
Until they have a bad experience, and then they know what the difference is. But they don't know that until they actually have that. So it's your job to educate them, and the only way you can educate them is that they have to know you, like you, and trust you. There's a great saying: nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Right? You have to be that person. You can do things like, you know, if you're a super social butterfly, like I am, I'm super shy and introverted, as you can tell. I do free coffee Fridays, Starbucks in my neighborhood. Hey guys, it's free coffee Friday day. Come on out, 7:30. You can wake up in time and get free coffee. And you know what? I don't just buy it from the farm. I give my credit card to the cashier, so you pay until I tell you to stop. I don't take my business card. I don't wear a name badge. I get people asking me, who's buying coffee? That'd be me. What? I haven't actually yet. My local realtor. That's what I do.
You are so nice.
I am. But, you know, I can be. Yesterday I wanted to see the bank. That was definitely. So no, guys, but look, to be honest with you, you can't pay. People will, excuse me, people will smell that shit. You're scared of a dog, the dog knows. Don't go and pick a farm because of turnover ratio and $4 million average sale and this and that when you don't know anything about it. I can't talk crypto. Oh yeah, crypto, yeah, Bitcoin, right? Don't. Right? Don't. Just be you. Be you. And use this for as little or as much as you want. The one thing I'll leave you guys with right now, unless you have other questions, is we get fed a lot of shit as real estate because we're very susceptible to wanting to sell it. And we get fed so much shit that we actually think it's tasting good, right? And all it really takes is hard work and consistency. That's it. Two things. You work as hard as you want to work, as much as you want to work, to get what you put in, you get out. Yes, sir.
What was the things that you said you give up after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving? You said pumpkin?
No, it's a day, week after Halloween. I what do you call it? I print pumpkins and I do a coloring. Pumpkin coloring.
Okay, how do you do that? I'm sorry, I'm new to this business. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Okay, got it. So let's talk about the what do you call it? Let's talk. I'll use an example of my Christmas tree or Christmas light contest, right? I walk the neighborhood and I'm usually walking my dog or whatever else, and I walk the neighborhood, right? And I pick which houses I like, and I take pictures of the top 3 houses. I create a flyer, and I go to my farm and I knock, and I know what they smell because I've used my hand, right? So I will knock and I will knock and I will knock. I will not leave the flyer at their door. I want to hand it to them. I want to create an energy, right? Hey, listen, we're doing our Christmas light contest. You know I'm not gonna leave this at the door. Do you want to fill it out now or should I come back tomorrow and pick it up? Yeah, you can pick it up tomorrow. If you're not home, where are you gonna leave it? My mailbox. Okay. Right? So I want to give it to you. I want to explain to you. Let's see who we can surprise this year. So once I do that, I get those flyers out. I collect those flyers. I tally the votes. And the person that won, I go and knock on their door. I give them $100 Costco gift card. Say, hey, congratulations. Your neighbors voted your best Christmas light. They didn't know they were in a contest. I'm catching people off guard all the time. My favorite line knocking on the door is say, how the hell did you know my name? I love that one. Swear to God, because you know what happened? They're not thinking about closing the door. They're ready to fight. You know my name. All right, right? So you know what? I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm just used to calling people by their names. I'm one of the top producing agents in the area. And I try to get to know everybody in the neighborhood. I like to use their name when I can get it for public record. I don't say I got it for public record. By the way, your wife filed for divorce and you live on your taxes, but I know all that shit. Right? You know, so dangerous. Listen, you know, it's dangerous if you pointed at somebody, pointed at the wooden shoe, right? So that's what you wanna do, right? That's the kind of stuff you guys wanna do, just be real, just be real. So I apologize, if I offend, I apologize. I'm one of the top agents in the area, I hadn't had the opportunity to meet you, and I try to get your name and information from public record whenever it's available. That's it. And if they're still mad, DM me. You don't work with me, yes, sir.
On the flyer, they say that you do the house contest, do you ask for the name, for that?
I put a QR code. If you can't send me, scan the QR code and let me.
Say it again?
QR code, I do a QR code, it's scannable, and I get their information, it goes right into the CRM. Any other questions? Just little things, guys, little tools.
I'm just trying to think of just anything through the door knocking process that can help, because I know, I mean, how many people are, you know, thinking of, okay, how can I take this information and start this next week? And come up with some homes and start identifying them, as they're trying to come up with that, I mean, do you have any questions about where to start? You know, what to do?
How about, how do you pick your farm?
Right.
Where do you start knocking? Anyone have,
Mine is my own neighborhood,
very good,
so that's why I know that.
okay, that's great, because you've lived there for a while, you know the neighborhood, you know ins and outs of it, that's fantastic. I didn't do that, because I was scared for if something went wrong, everybody would know where I live.
But here's that.
But now everybody knows where I live, right? We do block parties, we do everything, right? So your neighborhood or familiar neighborhood or your kid's school's neighborhood or whatever it is a great place to start. Guys, don't use analytics. You're not analytics, you're real humans. Analytics and numbers and all that theory is fantastic. Our business is very belly to belly. Go somewhere that the dog doesn't know you're scared. Know your area. And pick one thing in that area. And if you think that you have to have something to offer. The way I door knock, guys, you won't be able to door knock. The way you door knock, I might not be able to, right? I go out with nothing in my hand. I don't take business cards. Do you have a card? No, let me text you my number. Let me scan it to you. I want their information, right? So I don't give flyers. I don't do Matterports. I don't do video walkthroughs. I want the people to see the robe on the house and then come over and then we'll take the robe off. I don't want to pre-sell anything. I just want to create opportunities. So you have to have that preconceived notion of why are you door knocking? What's your mission? What's your goal? If I have to ask you guys, when does a goal become reality? If you had to guess. When is a goal reality?
You sign a contract?
When you write it down.
When you believe it. When you believe it, when you internalize it. I want to lose 100 pounds. I didn't want to lose 100 pounds. It's not gonna happen unless I believe it. And that's why I go on a yo-yo diet, because I'll believe it every 3 months. I'm gonna lose 25 pounds. I'm good now. Back to the cheeseburger spot, right? So just understand that things will come up and they will get your way. And if you miss it for one day, that's okay. Just don't keep missing it for the second and the third day. You guys would not leave your kids behind. You wouldn't forget them in a bus. I mean, maybe, right? Depends if you don't really like them, right? I mean, my mom wanted to have an abortion, the doctor told her it was too late because I already graduated high school. Right? If you think about it, right? You gotta just have a routine. And start with, like I said, if you're worried about door knocking, just go to Caravan and let the neighbors know about how beautiful the home is, because when you do an open house, how many neighbors come over? So you already know that they're curious. Invite them privately. Simple. Let me give you my number. Call me or text me when you're available. And we'll do a private showing just for you, so you can go take it, get your neighbor's house and see how it compares to yours. Hey, and by the way, for the right price, if you consider selling. That's just not rocket science, I swear to God. It's like bungee jumping. We're on the edge and we're looking at the cliff and we're going, I can't do it. Yeah, you can. You can do it. I promise you. And it'll be such an exhilarating win when you're done. And it only takes one to get you hooked. It's like your golf game. One good shot in your back, paying $200 and you suck at golf.
So, and I appreciate your more passive approach, just based on relationships, just want making it as easy as possible to have these interactions.
Yeah.
What about when you're closing for the appointment? Can you give a situation where, do you ever close for the appointment? Like,
Always.
You try to come in.
Always.
What triggers it? Is it a life event? Is it something that you're discovering? And then when you hear that,
So that's a great thing. So we're talking, and in the middle of our conversation, he's saying, my brother's been in Florida 2 years.
Right.
And my conversation shifts immediately. Wow, when's the last time you saw your brother?
Yeah.
In person, not in Zoom.
Right.
Wow, that long. Have you guys made plans to maybe live together or something?
Yeah. Love to.
You know, I know maybe right now is not the best time, but what I'd like to do is, I've got some availability on Friday. I'd love to come by and let you know with this weird market, kind of give you a plan so that you can decide what you want to do in the future. Would that be okay?
Be great. Perfect. And then, so you also talked about how this is a part of the process. You don't need a flyer. You don't need to over prepare. You're just looking for interactions and do
I
this
just
on a
wanna talk.
consistent basis, right?
I just want to.
So how are you specific when you go and start these conversations? You have a few of your scripts that you said you're willing to share with us. What is your general thought process as you go out? First part of the day, okay, what is my mindset when I go out the door?
Right. It depends on what I'm going on for. So if I'm doing my event, it's one.
Right.
If I'm prospecting, because let's say there's 20 new homeowners in that 500 home, I start with my, hi, I just want to put a face to the file that I know you, email you,
Right.
the introduction. So I have my introductions, I have my core, right? And then I have my, which is my events, and then I have special garage, like open house or something else.
Right.
So depending on the purpose of my door knocking, I'm not knocking aimlessly because that's the script that I keep and that's the track I'm saying.
Right.
So it's what's your purpose? Is it introduction? Is it follow-up? Is it invitation? Right?
Yeah, no, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
Yeah, when you know what you guys want to do and how you want to do it, look. I can give you 1,000 examples only because we're in the same shoes, right? 5 years ago, even less, we have a registration. Someone comes to the office, to your open house. Oh, please sign in. You sign in? No. Are they gonna sign in? No. What can we tell them to give you that information? A connection, right? So here's what I did. Listen, I have these surveys, and then we're gonna do a drawing in this survey. If you have the time to fill it out, I'd appreciate it. I'd love your feedback on this. That's their sign. Do something. It's a $10 cup of coffee at Starbucks. Doesn't matter, right? I spend my expired packages, guys, that I send out to expired listings. It's on automatic. They cost me $35. They're in a box. I have a brochure, an 8-page brochure, and I do spring collection, summer collection, fall collection, winter collection, the nicest houses. And even if I don't have the nicest houses, I go to my office. I go, hey, can I market your listing on my collection? They all say yes. I make that. So I get that. I get the Homes and Land magazine. I put a sold sign in there. I do a note card with a $5 Starbucks gift card and says, why don't we share a cup of coffee after this? That's how you don't miss another outfit. That's my note, and it goes in a FedEx sent. Yeah, it costs a lot of money. But guys, our average commission in Orange County is like 18 to 25%. It's a lot of money. I mean, we live in a land of $1,000 per square foot. Try that in Oklahoma. Not so much, right? That's why the complacency comes in. I heard somebody say complacency about prospecting, right? Because we just made 20 grand. It takes people a year to make that. So we just made it in 3 weeks, 21 days, because we're down no inventory, but finish fast, right? And we're thinking about how to spend that. And I get a new toy for my Jeep, and I get, doesn't matter, but look, and every opportunity creates another opportunity, and you can't be scared of the opportunity. You gotta take it. I did my first flip 3 years ago. I had done a gazillion flips for all my clients. So we bought a house, flipped it for $600,000. We made a couple $100,000. Ooh, that was great. So we went from there to my next one, and then I just want to share with you my mindset. My window cleaner says, hey, Pierre, or told my wife. And then my wife goes, hey, Pierre, James needs the lease. Shit. All right, where does James live? Top of the world within a beach. Why does he need a lease? Their family's selling the house. All right, right? So, hey, James, buddy, what do you need? You need a lease? Listen, and you guys, does your family need help with the house? I'm thinking listing, not lease. I'm going to help them for free on the lease. Give me the information. One family is in Rhode Island, the other part is in, what do you call it, in Florida. He's here. He's living with his dad, and they want to move down to San Diego. Everything. So I try to help them for 2 months trying to find a place. They've got credit issues, they got income issues, they got everything, right? I'm talking to the family in Rhode Island, and they're saying, listen, we're going to sell the house. I go, well, look, you guys are out there. I know the house is messy. Do you need me to get some people to empty it? Do you want me to empty, get a dump truck, things like that? What can I help with? We'll be out there such and such week. If you could arrange all those things, that would be great. Again, I'm still thinking listing, right? I have no commitment yet. They arrive, I've got laborers, I've got a dump truck, we're helping take stuff out of the house. And I say to them, let me go get you all some water. I'm trying to be nice, I want this listing. It's gonna be a $1.something million listing. I go down the hill, come back with some bottles of water, and the lady says to me, hey, Pierre, I don't think we need to sell the house. Or we don't need a listing. I go, well, what happened? Well, the neighbor just came by while we were throwing all this stuff out, and he offered us $1,585,000 for the house. She goes, well, we'll pay you something if you want to do the paperwork. I go, oh, well, that's fantastic. I go, but your house is worth more than that. She goes, it is. I go, what if I give you $1,625,000, no commission? She goes, done. And then I thought to myself, where the hell am I going to get $1.65 million? I didn't have a loan. My income's not there. I don't qualify. I said yes to figure it out later. Called my football coach in college. This is like a second dad to me. I said, hey, there's an opportunity here. And I'm sharing this story because this is real life, from a lease to possibly a listing to buying a house I can't afford, right? But I found the resources because I want to be resourceful. But I want to share this win with you guys because it was my biggest win ever. We bought the house for $1,625,000. We spent just under $750,000 adding on, doing it. We sold the house for $3.9 million.
Wow, congratulations.
From a lease. So you never know where those opportunities come from. So keep your eyes open, be peripheral, pay attention, listen. They're there every day. There's a win, and that listing or that flip that I did got me a $3 million listing and got me my next flip around the corner. It's awesome, guys. That's why I love this business. That's why I love this business. Honestly, God, those are the wins that I just, I remember the other ones too, right? But I don't focus on that, but I just focus on the wins. Right? That was it. Thank you.
Let's wrap it with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. Absolutely. And again, if you guys need me, get a hold of Brenda, let her please set you guys up and ask me questions. If you want to get started and you're scared, let's take baby steps together. I'll show you how to do this. Can I give you one sample? Anyone want to make a commission in the next 60 days for sure?
Yep.
Okay. Easiest door knock ever. Get on your MLS today. Take a look at all the leases that were acquired. Right, we're in June, August of last year. Those leases are coming up in 2 months. Knock on those doors and ask those people, how, are you gonna renew your lease? Do you need something bigger, smaller, or are you looking to buy? And put the lease number, put $4,500 a month, or $5,000 a month. It's not gonna be a lot of doors. One of those people is moving, I promise you. That's the super easiest way to get the deal right away.
That's it, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
You're gonna make it tough for Mike Ferry next week.
Well, listen, I've been trying to get him to sell my stuff. We'll figure it out.
How can we help you out, man?
Uh,
Other than what?
You know what? We love-
At that-
We love social media reviews, posts, whatever on the app, everything you guys have. Thank you for that question. That's a great question. I literally, I come from contribution, guys. I give as much as I can give. The more I can give, my dad told me a long time ago, the more you give, the more you get. And so I have no ulterior motive. You need my help or anything, I appreciate it. And if you feel as though the app is good or something else, put that review out there, refer to your friends, anybody else. Talk to Mike Ferry about it, whatever else. Create conversations for me, create opportunity, I can get out there and talk. As long as I can get in front of somebody, that's where our strengths are.
You're welcome to join us next Thursday.
You're a rock star.
Thursday, 9 to 12, Mike Ferry will be here.
I might be able to make it. I might accidentally be here like, hey, guys, I'm not here.
So yeah, he's supposed to be here.
That's awesome.
Talking about how to stronger listing.
And you know what's funny is office is literally around the corner.
Really?
Yeah, come on, man. Make it mad. Need to meet you.
Are you in Vegas or?
No, Mike Ferry.
Yeah, Mike Ferry.
Oh, not Tom. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mike's in Vegas.
Yeah.
I went to that property.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You did. I did 7 of those on the recruiting side.
Yeah, well, we killed it. I mean, you learn to do it. You don't
Yeah.
have any fear of that. Okay.
No, it takes a lot off. Anything else? I do want to wrap it up for everybody. I know we got a lot of good information. Market updates. Go
Can I
ahead.
just say, Pierre,
Yes.
we've gotten so many walking, today I was getting ready, and was like, oh, another walking farm app. And we've gotten so many. This is one of the most user friendly. So kudos and congratulations, because it's just beautiful. I can actually see myself and my team using this.
Oh, your
And-
team is good.
Yeah, like,
Hey, we knocked on 100 doors. How do you do that?
exactly, and I'm like so excited, I'm like, let's go put all of our information. But it's really exciting, so thank you for.
Thank you
bringing
very
us to
much. I
market.
really appreciate it.
It's good, real good.
Anything else anybody would like to list? Upcoming listings, actually the Ventura one, I finally got a call back from him, so this is Todd Ranch. Should be coming up, I gotta remember the price. I think, do you remember price on that one, Laura? Ballpark, what were we around? I'll relook at it, but I wanna say 575. So 3 bedroom, or no, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, it's about 1,300 square feet. And they're all going right now about 590 to 6, so just in the ballpark, and we're gonna be aggressive with pricing at 575. That'll probably hit in the next week to 2 weeks, so it's coming up pretty soon. Should get some pretty good action. Those are PUDs, so anything can go on FHA, VA, any of that. That'll be coming up. Any listings anybody wants to pitch or opportunities, fire needs? Yes.
So I do have, I've been talking about this all year, but I've just listed my home in the Grove, my listing in the Grove, which is the 55+ community. It is huge, you guys. It's 3,200, over 3,200 square feet. Full downstairs, with the primary bedroom down there, another bedroom, 2.5 downstairs, and then upstairs is enormous. It's a caretaker suite or a caretaker apartment with a huge loft bedroom and bathroom. And I'm listing it at 1.85, and it has open views, no rear neighbors or front neighbors. It's on Bonneville. It is gorgeous. So that one is coming on next week. Unfortunately, our broker tour van is gonna be.
Broker.
Tour van. Van,
Rental van.
yeah, will be on
Is
Thursday.
there any way you can make it go an extra hour later so that we can just head over right
For
after?
you and all of you, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it'll be vacant, easy to show, just a gorgeous community if you're not familiar with it. And this is probably the premier house in the entire community. It was phase 1 and it's just gorgeous.
Awesome. Well, congrats on that. And,
Thank you.
you know,
Is this the
hopefully
one
we
we
get
saw?
a
or
decent
is it
turnout
a
there.
different one? It's a different one?
I didn't have anything in the Grove on. Grove like that.
So we have about 20 people RSVP for next Thursday. So if you haven't already done it in our office, make sure you RSVP, because I want to make sure we're gonna talk about how we're gonna arrange it in here. My guess is probably somewhere between 30 to 50 people that we should have for Mike Berry as he's here. So and he's personally gonna be here. So I want to make sure we get a good turnout, everybody's dressed professionally as we always do, and just on time. At 9 a.m. He's pretty strict about it. If you've ever
Time for
been
the
to-
off-ramp.
Exactly. If you've been to any of his events, let's try to shoot to be here about 8:30 if we can. And I'll talk. I believe, did you get a hold of Vanessa?
I
Still nothing
listened,
yet?
or yeah, no, not
Okay.
yet, but
Okay,
I already.
okay. Well, Brenda, we can talk a little bit too, if you'd like to host it, make that opportunity available for you. We'll be here in this office. Yep. And there's more space on this side than the other side, so I'll probably rearrange the desk and then just have chairs going all the way back, so you present from up here. But that should be really exciting. Anything else anybody else would like to share, just in terms of updates? Recent experiences, what's going on, any challenges you're having out there in terms of getting business, putting things together. Typically that's not what we do on our Tuesday trainings. We hit on some recent objection handling, really it's the interest rate. Don't know what you're seeing out there in terms of lack of inventory, higher interest rates, people have a low interest rate, they're not gonna do anything because it doesn't make sense purchasing power wise. Are you seeing that? Are you hearing? about
Yeah,
having that
well,
situation?
at the higher price points, not so much, guys. People are borrowing against their own money at lower rates right now. So if you're really concerned about the interest rates affecting your business, up your price point. Because those people are borrowing their own money at like 4%. The HSBCs and Cathay banks and everything else, so that money's coming in a lot cheaper. I'll tell you something, the best thing I can tell you is if you're gonna run into those, can I tell you a personal fail that I'm going through right now? I had a listing where the client had to go back to China. I didn't get a power of attorney. And he's not responsive at all. I'm in for $5,000 in staging, everything else. I get offers, I can't communicate, offers are falling apart. Mistake on my end, right? Just be in the moment, be prepared. But as far as the interest rates and everything else, guys, it doesn't matter if it's high interest rate, low interest rates, high inventory, low inventory. You just have to find the buyer that fits within that category, and it's all from the education. Educate yourself on what's going on. If you're talking about high interest rates, you counterbalance that with what the Feds are rumored to not touch the rates on the next talk, right? The best person you can sit down and talk to that's in the weeds with it every day, sit down and talk to your lender. Show me your trends. Tell me what's going on. What do you see? We don't care what the theory is. Listen, what's your investor market look like? If I want to shift my business to investor market, what's that look like right now? Oh, no doc. Great. What are we doing? How do we go about that? Just find your niche within a niche, right? It's like saying, for example, let's say I want to sell pet supplies. Well, I can't just go say pet supplies. I'm gonna sell pink leashes for small red dogs, and find 100 of those. Don't, again, get away from the thousands and the hundreds of thousands. Start focusing on the 10 and the 15 and the 20s. That's a great living. It's a great living. It's a primary step to the next one. Right. But yeah, that was it.
Great. Any other questions, ideas? All right, otherwise, so Friday, actually, we got our all-star tournament scheduled just in terms of thinking for Rich. We either do it at 9 AM, so we gotta start a little bit earlier, instead of 9:30, because I got it done by 10, or we push back to the next week. What do you guys want to do? We're on the last chapter. So it's the 6 Ghosts of Fear. Outwitting the 6 Ghosts of Fear. It's a pretty big one. It's a bigger chapter too. Should we just wait till next week?
I won't be available. Price, I'd be bringing the fish.
Yeah, next Friday then. Okay, we'll push it to next Friday. Other than that, then it would be a Tuesday skills training. And then Thursday will be Mike Berry here. So let's get a good turnout for that. But thank you guys all for coming in. Appreciate it. Thank you, Brenda.
Did anybody need my card, or did everybody have my card already?
I have it.